And thank you for joining us, everyone. I'm Ron Corning with FWD DFW, together with the Dallas Morning News, as we work to move the small business community forward through the COVID-19 pandemic. Trey Bowles will join us once again to talk about how you can find your way through this difficult situation. These are uncharted waters. And today we're talking specifically about mentoring. Here's what we're going to run down. Learn from the pro. Don't be afraid to reach out and find a mentor who can help you, and will help you find that mentor. Also, leverage the pro, the best way to develop that relationship and what you can learn to help your small business either grow or, again, in a crisis situation, make your way through that. And how to become the pro. You too can end up becoming a mentor to somebody else who needs your help. And our guest, Trey Bowles, has likely been on both sides of it. We know that he's mentoring a young woman who has a mobile glam squad business. And we're going to talk to her live via Zoom in just a moment. But Trey, I have a question for you. You're mentoring small business owners. Have you been mentored?
Absolutely.
And without a mentor, it's nearly impossible, is it not?
Well, because the biggest thing is you don't know what you don't know. And so surrounding yourself with people that have been there and done that before is the best possible way to grow, because I believe the one thing an entrepreneur needs most is often the one thing that he or she does not have, and that's experience.
Isn't it difficult, though, sometimes we have this mental block where we feel like, well, that's kind of a stupid question. I don't want to ask it. Does it apply here that there is no such thing as a stupid question?
Yes. Entrepreneurs and small business owners do not have the luxury of living in that world where they feel like they should be too stupid to ask a question. Because the reality is anything that you do that prevents you from moving forward is hurting your business. It's costing you time and ultimately costing you money.
Yeah, we've talked about various ways in this series that people can begin to come to terms with what we've described as the new normal. Are you seeing businesses in the midst of being partially shut down or entirely shut down? Are you seeing them surviving? Are you seeing them take the right steps in order to come out of this on the other side? Okay.
For a lot of them, they don't know how to take the right steps. They don't know what they don't know, which is why we've created our Fast Start Mentor program to directly connect entrepreneurs, small business owners with subject matter experts, experienced entrepreneurs, service providers that can come in and help them make the strategic and tactical decisions that they need to make in order to survive.
What would be, though, because I'm trying to wrap my head around this, that we've said this is unprecedented, the degree to which business has been shut down because of the fear of this virus. What else would be a real life scenario that would put you through the same rigors as much as this has?
I mean,
road construction, let's say, going by your business and you can't get customers?
It could be that. It could be losing your largest customer, putting too much of your revenue in one customer. It could be having a lawsuit come out against you as a small business that you can't really defend. And the thing I keep saying to people is, regardless of what that obstacle is, it is just an obstacle. And so you have to figure out how to address it, just like you would any other of the alternative solutions that you mentioned.
Yeah, the difference with this, though, and I know you're aware of this, is that when it comes to that lawsuit, you can either settle it or it goes to court. Maybe there's a timeline on it. Maybe there's a financial penalty involved with it. You can begin to take a measured approach to solving a problem that has a definitive end. This doesn't have that.
And I think that's why creativity is more important than ever. And being able to bring mentors in, surround yourself with people that can give you strategic and tactical advice that is not in the middle of your scenario, your situation, right? They're third party. They're able to look in your business and give you advice without being in the middle of it and so close to it. And as for my businesses, regardless of whether we're in a global pandemic or everything's going great, I'm constantly bringing mentors in to help give me guidance and counsels so I can get better and more efficient and more effective in the way I serve my customers.
Well, let's bring in one of your mentees, and that's MARSI HUBBARD. She's with Bright Beauty. She's joining us live via Zoom right now to talk more about how she's navigating these uncharted waters. MARSI, it's good to see you. Thank you for joining us.
Hello. Thank you. Yes, thanks for having me.
All right, so just between the two of us, is Trey a good mentor?
Amazing mentor.
Good answer. He says you're doing an amazing job. You are doing an amazing job with your glam squad, your mobile glam squad. So explain to us what your business model was in the best of times.
So we're an on-location, on-demand hair and makeup service company. So we travel to our clients primarily and do hair and makeup for them, mainly driven by special events. So we do a lot of weddings. And then, if somebody's getting ready to go on site, go to a gala or in a special event, we do pop-up. So very event driven. So we were booming. And then obviously events came to a total standstill and halt. And we just had to reevaluate and pivot and figure out how do we leverage this time and make the most out of it. And then perfect timing, the Fast Start Mentor program was launched, and I was so excited about that.
So that's when you connected with Trey, was in the middle of all of this?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
So,
Yes.
so share with us, because Trey says in the first 30 days of a crisis, a small business needs to take some really critical and tangible steps. You obviously took that step. You reached out for help, and you asked for help, and you weren't ashamed to do it. What was your biggest concern when you reached out?
So one thing that first thing for me was when this hit was my contractors, my hair and makeup contractors. I wanted to keep them in work and keep them busy, and I wanted to keep all the business afloat. And I thought, how do we do that now? And immediately I thought virtual hair and makeup lessons would be a great way to do that. And so needed during this time. And then connecting with Trey, he just reassured me that, yes, that is a great idea, and just really gave me some practical and tactical advice that I could use and move forward, not only during this time, but when we come out of this time, and really how to thrive today and, years from now.
Because I'm guessing, and correct me if I'm wrong here, that you're seeing an opportunity when essential, or I should say non-essential businesses are giving clearance once again with some social distancing, maybe masks in place for you to meet up with clients one-on-one. Frankly, if they relax standards and allow me to go out to get my haircut, I probably would rather have you come visit me than go out to a crowded salon. So I'm thinking therein lies an opportunity for you.
Absolutely. Yes, just the nature of our business, the fact that we do travel to individuals' homes or locations, it does set us up for a different kind of success, and that it's just a natural fit to eliminate some of the exposure to this disease that you could get in a larger group setting.
Have you had success getting the kind of funding that's available through the Payroll Protection Program or any other organization to help you fill the gap financially while business is down?
No. So I don't know if I should say, I won't say who I bank with, but I immediately, the second it came up to apply, I applied for the loan, as did one of my good friends that's in business as well. And we bank at the same bank. And neither one of us, they ran out of money before they could get to us. And so I did not get that funding. Are you more hopeful? And we're waiting to see if
you're hopeful for a second round of funding, that the second time around you get it, because that is one of Trey's tips as well, is apply not only once but twice and to as many places as possible. Would you say going into this that this is a tough question to ask? Were you prepared for this? A better question is, were you prepared for, or have you often thought of a contingency plan in the event that something should happen to slow your business?
That's a challenging question, because how could anybody really be prepared? But yes and no. So for the way that our business works, I have one full-time employee and then many contractors. And so I didn't have the issue that so many other business owners have, and that you have multiple employees and you're trying to figure out how to keep them on board and keep paying them and keep the business afloat. But for a small business like mine, that one employee is a big deal. And so, because we do so many weddings, we do take deposits up front to reserve the time, because just the way our business is structured a little bit differently. So we have a reserve sitting there, but that reserve is for future dates. So it really is just an interesting time. And I think this has brought to light how we do need to be prepared for every situation and just keep that in mind. So now we're putting in new clauses into our contracts and thinking about, okay, how do we prepare for something so crazy is this in the future?
It's almost like, and I've used this analogy before, but so many of us are going to come out the other side of this, both as consumers and as business owners, with almost a post-Great Depression era mentality. We're going to have a post-pandemic mentality where we may not approach business and spending the same way as we did before.
Absolutely. I completely agree with that. And even with a lot of our brides, we're still taking phone calls and reaching out to them. And for brides that haven't scheduled, that were tentatively, they had their wedding set for the first of next year. Now they're reconsidering what they want to do and what services they want to book.
It also occurs to me as I hear you talk about that one full-time employee that the smaller the business, the more closely emotionally tied you are to the people who work for you.
Yes, absolutely. Right? Yes, absolutely. And that one employee, like when this hit, I was like, there's no way, like I have to do whatever I can do to keep her on. I'm not going to let her go unless it's like just like there's no other way. So the virtual platform, the things, just really thinking, just intentionally acting intentionally so that I could keep her employed. And we've been able to make it. And there's light at the end of the tunnel now. And I'm so grateful for that.
Well, if people want to reach out to you, they're planning ahead, they're planning for this to be over. And there are some people who will tell you that what you do is an essential service. I need my nose waxed and it's essential.
It is an essential service.
Yes, I feel like it's essential. It's getting to be essential.
Absolutely.
For your sake and mine too, I hope that changes very quickly and we wish you continued success. People can go to Bright Beauty, that's BRITE beauty.com. MARSI, Hubbard, thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to come on, and thank you to Trey and the Fast Start Mentor Program. It's really an amazing thing to have access to somebody with such business acumen and knowledge that you can have a conversation with and get some guidance.
Yeah, well, when you get thank you, Tracy. When you get MARSI, rather, when you get a shout out like that from MARSI, saying that someone with your business acumen has been a lifeline during a difficult time, that must make you feel really good. There's reward in that.
Well, there is. I think it's important that we're all trying to figure out how can we give back during this time. And, some of us are medical professionals, first responders. Some of us have other things that we can give. But the idea is that we all as a community need to figuring out how can we plug in and how can we play. I think the good thing is, the Fast Start program is one program that's out there. The great thing is there's hundreds of organizations across North Texas that have mentor programs and resources and have the ability to support entrepreneurs and small businesses in need. And so what we want to do is help connect entrepreneurs and small business owners to the right resource for them.
Right, and I know you've done that with Let's Grow North Texas. That website is letsgrownorthtexasbusiness.com. And Trey, I think I'd mentioned this, is the founder of the Dallas Entrepreneur Center. So really at heart, your passion is making sure that others can succeed in this small business space because 95% of people are employed by a small business owner.
It's amazing. It's the major.
It's our engine.
It's everything that works in the country. And if you're not able to create a solution that sustains that and keeps that growing, then we're going to be in a big trouble. One of my good friends says, look, there's no chances that a city with a bunch of corporations like ours is going to continue to thrive and exist if the small businesses don't thrive.
Yeah, when you hear MARSI talk about how she seems to, I'm sure there were moments of panic as everyone had when this first happened. She seems to have, with your help, I'm sure, been able to adjust and at least she put on a good show. She seems to be in good spirits. Even though business isn't what it was, she seems to find hope in the future. Is that part of what you're trying to instill in your small business mentees?
Absolutely. The resiliency that she shows is so important, and recognizing that, we just got smashed in the face with this pandemic, and it is going to be devastating to some businesses. But what she did was take the next step and say, okay, this happened, how am I going to respond? And she immediately started to think about her customers and how do I continue to build that relationship with my customers? How do I develop new technologies, new solutions, new avenues for building business? How do I effectively operate inside of COVID today, and then what will this look like going forward? And I think she's done an incredible job in doing that and taking advice and counsel and being willing to listen to people for help and incorporate that into her business. That makes a good mentee.
She seems like a really good student.
Absolutely.
Yeah, really. She listens and she processes it and she puts it to play. Gillian Breidenbach is Vice President of Community and Civic Engagement with the Dallas Morning News. She's joining us. She's part of this effort to grow North Texas, to move small business forward. And Gillian, what are some of your thoughts on what Trey is doing in this program?
Well, I think what he's doing is great. And first of all, I got to shout out to MARSI. She was rocking the animal print.
Right.
I was digging that. But I think what's really important about MARSI is that it's so great to see a woman have a mentor. I mean, as a woman myself, been in business 30 years, you need women mentors, and we need more of them. And we need, if you are a successful business owner, step up. Pay it forward. Give somebody like MARSI and others, give them the mentor. Trey can't mentor everybody. So we really need folks, if they've got that skill set, step up and let's help and let's get these businesses going again.
And we've coined the phrase, or we've used the phrase, I'm not sure we coined it, like put your skill set or your superpower to work, because there are a lot of really great business people in North Texas who right now, as their own businesses have contracted, maybe they can feel the reward of reaching out to others and make a difference in that way.
Absolutely. And I loved her the way she's able, as Trey says, to switch back. I mean, I would love to have somebody come and do my makeup and hair and nails and not have to go to a salon anymore. I think it would be fabulous. And it is going to be a different way of how we come out of this pandemic, of what we want, what our expectations are. And again, we've got to support our local small businesses.
Have you seen, Trey, in any way, a small business that has discovered through this process, at first they see only the negative, my business is shut down. Have you seen them pivot and shift in such a way that they have found a new opportunity or a new revenue stream?
It's amazing to me how resilient these small businesses are and how positive and how creative they are. I could give you 10 examples of small businesses. One in particular is a friend of mine has a company that does production for events, for concerts, for things like that. And what he's done is create a new service line that he's going into tech companies and organizations and saying, look, your new production may be inside of your Zoom room. It may be doing a meeting 1 to 500 people, but what we can do is develop a technology and solution that allows you to do that more effectively. It creates better, servicing, so that it's not just somebody that when you start speaking, the camera goes to you, like in a Zoom, but organized, structured production inside of virtual environments. Brilliant. He's got Google, Slack, Facebook, you name it, interested in this type of communication, because we are going to change the way we communicate moving forward. And it may be that as we look forward, rather than flying 1,000 people to a sales conference in Orlando, we might just have an all-day online virtual solution and save a lot of money doing that. But that's an example of people that are just being creative, finding solutions, really finding the need that exists inside of their market and addressing it.
Yeah, I remember during the Great Recession, we saw a cutback in business travel and they turned to the teleconference, but we've advanced that technology. But unlike the Great Recession, again, there were signs of a definitive end to it, the economy coming back. This is an issue of health and medicine and a virus, the nature of which is unknown. And so we may be taking cautious steps moving forward well beyond what appears to be the end of this.
I think a lot of people think we're 12 to 18 months away from really being out of the woods on something like this completely. And so small businesses, because they're small, they're mobile, they're agile, they have the ability to move more quickly, there's an opportunity to really level the playing field for business around this. And so if opportunity exists, small businesses are going to be the one that capitalize on it.
Yeah, and we've said it before, it bears repeating. Make sure that when you apply for PPP, the payroll protection program, or anything else, that you are organized and everything's in order, because a solid application is more likely to get a yes than one that's sort of all over the place, regardless of how strong you think your business is.
Absolutely.
There are other places you can get resources. We've talked about Let's Grow NorthTexasBusiness.com. Also, DallasNews.com/FWD DFW. It is a one-stop shop to get everything you need from access to funding that's available through federal programs, other programs as well. You can also find out about being a mentor or a mentee. And our series here will continue with Trey's help as, again, we help move small business forward. And we'll leave you with the top 5 tips to get the most out of your mentor program. Know your mentor's background, history, experience level, subject expertise, and you can target your questions to best fit your needs. Send your questions ahead of time to optimize your time with your mentor and also honor their time. Also, clarify 2 to 3 concrete takeaways and make sure you understand that advice and counsel you've been given. And finally, actions speak louder than words. Do what your mentor says and follow up. That's the best way to solidify your relationship for the future. I'm Ron Corning. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time. Special thanks to Forward DFW's founding and supporting partners for making this coverage possible. Forward DFW was created in partnership with the Dallas Morning News. The goal? To connect companies, causes, and the community and face issues that impact the economy and wellness of North Texas.